Hi, I'm Shailyn and I sew. It is Filipino Friday and I originally intended this video to be a Raya costume because Raya and the Last Dragon comes out today. Well, today in this video when this video comes out. This week I reached out to Monica Joelle Ortiz. She is on TikTok and Instagram and she is constantly speaking about Filipino cultures in media and why we need more ASEAN creators and actors, etc. So I am really excited. I reached out to her and I told her that I was a Filipina seamstress and that I was interested in creating something for her in anticipation of this movie coming out. So I have a Zoom call with her. A little bit nervous, but I have a Zoom call with her where I'm going to show her my ideas and I'm also going to show you all, of course. Gonna do the Zoom call, gonna show you all what I'm showing her, and I'm gonna just show the whole process start to finish from design ideas to the end result. So let's begin. So this is what I'm gonna show her. This is Binacol. This is from the Ilocos region if you watched my previous video. And then this is Hablon, which is from the Visayas region. And the reason I chose specifically these two textiles to show her to see if she likes it is because, one, the colors match, and two, because that's where she's from. Her dad, I believe, is from Ilocos region and her mom is from the Visayas region. This one is my main one that I kind of wanted to show her because Raya's outfit, her pants are green. So I thought maybe doing a green skirt would look really nice, but I don't have any yellow textiles to go with it. I don't have that gold. So I'm not really sure where to go from there. The only gold I have is this sort of golden maroon color. That might work actually. And that'll still tie in with her Ilocano and Visayas roots. So I might show her these two, see if she likes these color combination. Our idea is to do some sort of traditional wear. I have it on my mannequin right now. It's not really, it's clipped up. So it's not tied like a malong, but my idea is to do a malong at the bottom. And then for the top, I was thinking of going for a Kimona. I thought that would be an interesting way to mix her heritage. But this is what I'm showing her tomorrow, and I will continue this video afterwards. So, yesterday I did my call with Monica, and we decided on doing some gold to kind of emulate like royalty. So these are the fabrics that we have chosen. In the movie Raya and the Last Dragon, they wear sashes. So she wanted a sablai. Surprisingly, or luckily for us, this is from Iloilo, where they hand weave the sablai that's used by the University of the Philippines. So I am going to use this part with this detailing as the sablai. The rest of the fabric is just regular stripes. And I don't know if you can tell, but it kind of has like a purple sheen to it underneath. Let me see. So you can tell on the warp that they used purple, and it's the same purple as that. So it's going to blend in pretty nicely and kind of look really, really good. I'm a little torn because kimonas, from my research, they tend to have like a sheer fabric. So I actually pulled this barong that I had. It's made out of piña, and I wanted to test to see how sheer it is. This is 2 layers, so the back or the lining piece is organza, and then the front is the piña cloth. So I wanted to see if I could, what that looked like. This is just 1 layer of piña without the organza. I'm not sure if I like the sheerness of it. Like I feel like it's not sheer enough, and that kind of takes away almost from the look of this binnacle, so I'm a little iffy on it. I'm gonna go back to the drawing board, see if I can send some ideas and see what she thinks. So I changed the colors or the skirt around, and I moved this cloth that I was initially going to use for the sublime. It's going to be the skirt portion. Then I moved that up. So this is going to be the new sublime. And I sent this over to Monica. She really likes this combination. Now she just has to choose between piña or organza, which is a little bit more sheer. This side is the organza side, so you can see a little bit more of the design than on the piña. So Monica just has to choose between those two fabrics. But what we're going to do is I'm going to embroider Raya in Baybayin here, similar to the sublimes that the University of the Philippines has, where they have UP on the sublime. I'm going to do Raya. So that is the current situation here. I'm going to draft up a bodice pattern for the top and the skirt and do a fitting with her, and then I will start cutting this out. I spent literally 2 days trying to draft this thing, and I kept saying like this part was really weird. I kept going back and forth on how high it needed to go, or if it should just like be a mini skirt and then like a panel that goes down, turns into a slit, whatever. I decided to just go with this. I don't know, there is no real reason, but we'll see how it works. This is just the front piece. This is what the front piece looks like on its own with the shaping, the darts up here. And then here is the panel. You can see that I did a sort of, I used the fabric to its advantage so I could kind of visualize that line on the Filipino weave. So this is going to be where that design is, obviously. And it's going to come across like this. And this part right here is going to tie. So let me tie it real quick. Okay, so it's going to tie like this. And I'm going to put it on my mannequin. Okay, so I put it on my mannequin. It's all tied up right here at this corner. And I'm already know that I'm going to want to fix this. This part right here is sagging. I don't like it. So that's going to have to go a little bit smaller. And I know exactly what happened here. I used the skirt as the main piece that I was drawing off of, and I didn't put any shaping on this. So a couple options. I can add the darts on this piece, but it will be seen, especially with the more plain design. Or I can take it out of the side seams and just meet it together like this. So pretty good initial mock-up. I think I'm gonna take it out of the side seams to make it a little bit easier. But this is what the skirt's gonna look like. I think I like how it emulates the Malong here. And then this is where obviously that design is gonna be, and hopefully when she walks, you're not gonna see all of that. You're just gonna see that her leg's gonna come out, and that's all you see. We'll see. Alright, so this is what it's gonna look like for her fitting. So there's the skirt again all tied up, and then the top is gonna have that sweetheart bodice, and then there's gonna be a kimona that's covering it that's sheer. So this is just for the fitting. I will be doing that tonight, and I will alter as needed. Unfortunately, we had to meet in the middle somewhere. We had this idea of going to the mall and going to a fitting room, but all the fitting rooms are still closed. The mall actually closed, so we went to Ross, and their fitting rooms were closed. So we just haphazardly did a test fit as well as we could over top of what she was wearing. It's not ideal, but the fitting went as well as it could considering the circumstances. I am not making any changes to the pattern that I have created. And she chose the piña cloth, so that's going to be the kimono fabric that goes on top of the bodice that I'm creating. So I'm going to go ahead with that and cut into the precious Filipino textiles that I have. I did not mess this up because I don't have any extra material. So I normally don't mess things up, but you know, when there are projects that you know that you can't get any more material, it's a little bit more nerve-wracking. So anyway, I have already cut out the bodice material here, and as you can see, I basically am trying to match the plaid at the bottom as much as I can here. So you can see that what I did with the pattern pieces is I had a line all the way across, and it's exactly the same line on each pattern piece. It's gonna be where each seam is supposed to meet. So ideally, at the very minimum, these parts are going to match up. Obviously this is a curve here, so even though it looks like it's gonna match up, it's gonna curve, so this will probably be offset like this, or you know, just a little bit offset, but there's going to be some matching hopefully at the very bottom. So I centered this line for the center of the bodice, and then for the side bodice pieces I made sure that the vertical line was on the same as the other side, so it mirrors exactly. If I put them on top of each other, it'll look like the same piece, right sides together. So that's what I did for all of the pieces. This is the side back piece, and as you can see, it just mirrors it. Again, the side back piece is mirrored, and it does the same for the center back. That is also mirrored. So that's what I've done with the pattern pieces. Hopefully everything lines up as well as I want it to. I'm also going to have to make, you know, since this is going to be boned, I'm also going to have to make a lining with the boning on the inside. I'm not like an expert on pattern matching, but I think I did pretty well here. Check out those lines. So this is the skirt pattern. This is the flap that goes off over top and will simulate the Malong style. This piece is going to go here, and that's going to be the tie for the front flap piece. Right here I marked the line. This line is going to be where I want the edge of the design to go. So I marked the seam allowance and then an inch. So ideally you should see like an inch of nothing, and then the design starts right there. So I wanted to show you why I'm a little nervous about making this piece. This is the fabric I have, and this fabric only has 2 of these on the beginning and at the end. This is only hand woven in 3-meter portions. The beginning of the 3 meters, and then everything in between is just this line here. So all the way down until the very end. So again, this line right here matches up to that line over there, and on the other side it does the same thing. So this design will go straight down. So I'm almost done with the skirt. I had to do a French seam to hide the raw edges because the edges here they fray really easily. I have tried using, I forget what these are called, oh my gosh. I tried using these scissors, they didn't work because the weave on these is so loose that it just catches all of the thread or all of the weave. When I serge it, it works sometimes, but sometimes it'll actually unravel the weave itself. So the easiest way is for me to just do a French seam and hide the seam the raw edges. So that's where I'm at. It's just an extra step that I had to do. And also because of that, I also have to hand stitch a lot of the detailing. So like the hem right here, that's hand stitched. This is hand stitched facing for the front of the skirt. So it's taking a little bit longer than I wanted, but we must continue. Here it is so far. I have one day to finish this because I'm meeting up with her tomorrow. So, and 2 pieces left to sew. I still have to make the kimona out of, she chose piña. So the kimono is going to go on top here. And then over top of the kimona is the sablay. And the sablay is going to be really easy to sew because it's going to be a sash. So that's going to go on top here. The only part I'm worried about is she wants embroidered by-in on it that says Raya. Embroidery by hand takes some time and I only have one day. I have an embroidery machine that I have never used before. So I literally am going to be on YouTube all day looking up how to use my embroidery machine and hopefully design my Raya by buy-in. So that's today. Okay, so for the kimono part, this is the pattern piece that I made in the Nancy dress tutorial, and basically it's just a dolman style bodice, and the only difference that I'm going to do between this one and what I'm doing for the kimono is I am going to round this off. So instead of having this part right here, it's gonna go and like, you know, be a little bit rounded, so it goes like in like a nice little circle here. And the reason for that is the kimono is open. I've been looking at a bunch of pictures of different kimonos online, and it looks like there is no side seam. It literally is just like, I don't want to say bib, but that's the only thing I can think of that goes over the top. So this is what it looks like so far. Like I said, it's literally just like an oval with the neck hole cut out. And I have cut out all of the embroidery from the original barong. So now I'm going to try to, my thought process is I'm going to attempt to put it around maybe the neckline and see if it looks good. If it doesn't look good, then I probably won't do it. So for the sash, I'm going to cut in between these 2 lines, and this is, I think, 10 inches wide. So I'm going to sew that together on the back, and then it's going to be 5 inches, a little less than 5 inches wide, and that's going to be the sash. And in between these diamonds is where I'm going to put Raya. So I'm hoping like Raya. I'm going to have to cut, I want to say 2. This is my trusty dusty embroidery machine. I have actually never used it before, but it is brand spanking new, a year old. I got it last year and I haven't gotten a chance to use it yet, so this will be my first project, so hopefully it works well. Luckily, I have trusty dusty operation manual and YouTube, so I will be going on there to figure out how to make my custom embroidery design. I have embroidery software already. So I have this Introduction to Buy-In book by Christian Cabuay, and I was originally going to write out Raya. Now this is Raya as an example. All I have to do is remove the kutlit, remove part right here at the top, and it'll say Raya. I was initially going to write it out, but because I'm still new and I don't really have my own stylistic way of writing by buy-in, I am looking at some fonts here. And I'm going to choose one, maybe this one. It's kind of friendly and round. And go from there. So I'm gonna choose one of these fonts and use the embroidery software that I have to design it, and make sure that the embroidery machine stitches it in the way that I want it to. Okay, I think I got it. I had to use Inkscape to transfer it and make it an SVG file because I don't have the font on my embroidery software, so I had to make it an SVG file, transfer it over to this, and then mess around with it so the stitching is the way that I want it to be. But now I have to figure out how to get this onto my embroidery machine and get it to embroider it. It says it'll only take 19 minutes. Okay, well, how do I actually press start? I'm just pressing buttons. Do I do this? Ugh! Nope. Is that seriously the start button? How do... Lower the presser foot lever. I don't know how to do that. Oh my god, it's you. Okay. Oh my god. What did I do? Holy. Oh snap. Ooh. Oh, duh. Oh snap. And it cut the thread. What? Alright, so I'm doing another test run. This one should only take 9 minutes. Basically, I looked at the last file and it finished last night, and I compared it to the Supply. It's a little bigger than I want it to be, so I went back on the computer and made the file a little bit smaller, and I'm testing this one before I put it on the nice fabric. And so hopefully this doesn't mess up. Look at me go with my I know how to do this kind of. 10 minutes. If you want to see more videos from me, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to my channel. Happy sewing!